All right, folks, and welcome to another edition of PPR Esports. I am not usually your host for once. This is Best Teon, though, filling in for no one really. Actually, I'm joining you. Isn't that right, Nick?
Yes, you are. Yes. So filling in for no one. We're just making it a double in the booth tonight.
Yeah, and I, for one, am very excited. I usually am the one driving in this division, so for once, I'll get to maybe have a bird's eye view. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two.
Yeah, you might just want to stay on board with Deluxe Cord the whole race, and you might figure out how to get a few tenths shaved off of your times.
I'll be taking notes. Don't worry. I've got my pen and paper waiting for me right here. Folks, why don't I run you through everything right now? Today we are live from the Silverstone Circuit. It's located in Northamptonshire, England. Hope I got the pronunciation right. 26 laps around today, 18 turns. It's going to be 10 to the right and 8 to the left with a DRS detection zone between turns 5 and 6, as well as one between turns 14 and 15 on the long run down to Sector 3. Lap record currently held by Lewis Hamilton, 127.3, which was actually set last year, I believe. And the circuit length is going to be 5.8 kilometers, or if you're from America, 3.6 miles. Nick, why don't you run them through the standings?
So yes, we could do that, as I definitely have them pulled up
Oh, I'm so
right now.
sorry. I've got them
So we
on.
have Deluxe Cord sitting in P1 currently on top of the standings. I'm actually just going off what I know off the top of my head, so I'm pretty good at that. But yeah, so it's Deluxe Cord sitting P1 so far, followed shortly by Vexing Track in second. Then we have Redeemer and the McLaren in third, Funky Cactus, Orange Crush, PB9 Magic rounding out fourth, fifth, and sixth. And then we're followed by Father Corn, Dark Ghost, Big Mr. Brown, and PPR Ollies rounding out the top 10. Right now, Deluxe Cord has a commanding lead as he sits 38 points in front of his next competitor, Vexing Track. So very, very run of the mill here for Deluxe Cord, as he's been taking almost every race win. The only two races he hasn't won that he's competed in. All right, take that back. So he's DNF twice, and then every other race besides two, he's won. So he's got 5 race wins currently on the season through 9 rounds, which is Lewis Hamilton esque. And take you down to the constructors standing. So we currently have Racing Point sitting in first place, top of the board with 208 points, followed by Haas, McLaren, Red Bull, Williams, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Toro Rosso, and sadly, the two teams to not score a single point so far this season, Ferrari and Renault. Hopefully, their luck will turn around tonight.
Yeah, let's definitely hope to see maybe Rock Lobster or Butters get in on the action. I'm just getting word from Pit Lane. Actually, we have not only a great race for you tonight, folks, but we have a full grid. All 20 cars will be in operation tonight. Expect lots of great overtaking for you ahead. Yeah, but this constructors battle is pretty interesting because if you take away the top, well, I guess the top five, and you look at the bottom five, you look 6 through 10, it's pretty much anyone's game. Alpha, Mercedes, I'm a little biased there, sorry. Toro Rosso, only about a 20-point gap, and then Ferrari and Renault, it's really it's all theirs for the taking. So it'd be really interesting to see maybe some daring moves by Presto or Chinny or Butters or Rock Lobster today.
Oh, definitely. And even if you look at I mean, the constructors championship between Racing Point and Haas right now, if Groggy starts scoring some good points for that Haas team, they'll sit pretty well towards the end of the season when it comes to beating out Racing Point for points. As Vexing Track and Funky Cactus for Racing Point have had some pretty solid finishes so far this season. The only thing holding back Haas right now is just Groggy just has to get it right on track, as he only has, what I'm seeing is 4 races out of the 9 in points finishing positions, where his teammate Deluxe Cord, kind of hard to compete with, has 5 race wins. So
It is certainly no picnic if you want to try and catch the top. Deluxe has been commanding all year, but we now go live to pit lane. Looks like we've got a clear qualifying. Maybe we'll get some word down in the pits on if there's a forecast for the race. No cars out of the pits quite yet. Nick, what do you think the key for setup here is today?
key for setup is full send wherever you can, and actually, to break in the weather report, doesn't look like we're gonna have any rain tonight. Cloudy, quality, cloudy race. So much like the Division One race, no rain in sight. But yeah, setup wise, most of these drivers are probably gonna start off with the softs, contra strategies, mediums to soft. It's pretty easy strategy wise. And with the car, I mean, I'm not an expert on setting these up. I get all of my setups from Chandler's data and D1. So I am no mastermind to these setups here in F1.
Well, hey, there's no shame in that game, especially considering Chandler is your teammate. It's nice of him to give that little insider info to you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I have an entire tracks list from round 1 all the way down to 21 for all of my tracks. So I don't have to worry about setups anymore. I got that figured out for the rest of however long F1 2019 exists for.
For those of you at home, maybe listening to the stream, Chandler Seda holds multiple world records in Formula One time trials. So, if you're wondering why that might be a big deal, Nick's been handed the keys to the kingdom, for better or worse. So, you know, could be worse, right? You could always be trying to figure it out on your own. Rumor around the street is you kind of want to go for low on the front, but then kind of a higher downforce on the rear. Oversteer can kind of be your enemy here, but you do not want those rear tires sliding around too much because it's such a power-laden track.
Yeah, so I mean the wings easy I would probably run is either 3.5, which is pretty aggressive, or you'll see a 2.6. I've had maybe one or two guys tell me throughout all three divisions that they'll go 1.6. For me, it's just the car is too understeering. I don't think it has any pace in it, any pace advantage whatsoever. So probably see some 3.5s, 2.6s. That's probably what most of the guys will be going with.
Yeah, which I think makes for a pretty balanced car. You don't feel like it's getting away from you too much. The curves on this track definitely do favor an aggressive driver, though. It really begs you to try and push the limit through a lot of these high-speed corners. In fact, why don't we go on board with the Zoom 228401, Nick? Why don't you take us through a lap?
Yeah, so you see him right here, the 50-meter board. You're looking into turn 1. You want to clip a little bit more of the curve than you got right there, and then braking again. So it's meter board. You can shift all the way down to the 3rd and up into 4th, and then you want to take a pretty deep line here into turn 3s and 4. Very quick down the DRS straight. Not the perfect of apex is taken here from the Zoom, but so far purple, as he's the only one set lap. Very easy on the throttle right here through left field. And you already see going a little bit too wide, and that is what I was just about to say. Yeah, you'll probably see that quite often. Drivers trying to push it too much. You want to keep it pretty steady on the throttle until you get a feel for an exit out of there, or else you will run wide and into the gravel and find your lap time being diminished.
Well, looks like he hasn't backed off either. He's still going. Oh, that's going to be more dirt.
And it is the commentator's curse.
Yet again, only when I'm with you, Nick. Never when I'm with anyone else.
Yeah, I think there's something about us in the booth. And yeah, it does look like Zoom's coming in. I believe Rock Lobster was right behind him on his lap.
Yeah, he's finishing up right now. Into the final complex of turns here, into club. Ferrari looking nice and planted. He's got it in a really high gear, though. Maybe looking to open up the taps on the way through. That's your time to beat, folks, at 128.2, 128.4, excuse me, from Rock Lobster. With Groggy Oregano right behind 130 on the hards. We have SF1776 setting 128 on the soft tires. So SF going to be looking to find a little pace here later in the session. The rest of the times are coming in now. Random setting a 129. Big Mr. Brown flying by there. And it seems we've got some yellow flags here in Sector 1. I hope nobody's gone off during qualifying.
No, I believe it might just be so. As I take that back, it actually looks to be PV9 Magic's gone off as well through Max Beckett's.
Oh, that's the Williams car, I believe. Correct?
Yes, that is. And just to say, Deluxeport is already an entire second ahead of me right now with a stellar lap, 26.7. It's pretty well put together there from the Haas driver.
Oh, well, that certainly does it. Is that going to be it's qualifying over for PV9 then? Such a shame. Let's hope he bounces back during the race. On board with Night Shrimp right now. Really opening the taps on that Alfa Romeo. Flying into cops. Let's see. Can he get it up into 8th gear? Yes. Will he lift? Ooh, and he's run very wide.
Yeah, the problem there with Night Shrimp is you don't want to push it in the 8th. You want to stay 7th and take a really big turn in for that right-hander. And you should be able to take it flat out, but it's still pretty hard to get right on and validate your lap.
Well, from what I can see on my screen, the game's been real nice to him. He's still on a valid lap. Into Sector 3 at about 111. Into one of the big heavy braking zones on the track here. Turning in. Into Club now. Ooh, a lot of oversteer from that Alpha there. Just trying to fishtail his way through, but they'll put him P10, a 129.6. 129.6, folks. Time to beat, though, Deluxe Cord, 126. 126, so there's about a 5-second deficit to the bottom of the field right now from the leader.
Yeah. And which I kind of am. I'm saying Deluxe Sports time is not getting beat in this qualifying session. I would definitely say he doesn't have to go out and do another lap. I think just with that one run.
I'm sorry, Nick, you cut out there for a second.
Oh, so I was saying I think Deluxe Sports would be pretty safe right now in P1. I don't think he's going to have to do another lap out here.
Yeah, I think I'd call it a quits too if I was a whole second ahead of the next fastest guy. My Sprightly though, through the final turn, that'll bring him up to P2, improving from 130 to 129.2. A very, very speedy lap from the Mercedes driver there. Most of our drivers in the pits right now. I think we got Dark Ghost on a flying lap. Is that right? Or is he getting ready for one?
He is definitely going pretty slow right now. I believe we do have Father Corn. That's actually the wrong Alfa Romeo. Yeah, Night Shrimp, but Night Shrimp already said lap he's coming in as well. So a lot of these guys coming in, and a lot of them exiting the pits to start more laps.
Yeah, Dark Ghost really backing off here, and he will go into the pits. Looks like we've got is that a Mercedes? Oh, it's on his outlap for the Zoom, as well as Orange Crush there. He's got some cars leaving the pits right now.
Yeah, it looks like Orange Crush is, or I take that back. No, it is definitely the Zoom. The Zoom's leading out. The rest of these guys going to look and start their second laps of the qualifying session. And Zoom actually has not even set a single lap here in quality, so see maybe if he can compete with the Deluxe Sport up here.
Yeah, that would certainly put a smile on my face. Zoom's one of our reserves, correct?
Yes, Zoom is one of our reserves, and I don't think he's raced with us yet. I've not seen his name.
Well, that Merc certainly is looking planted into turn 1. Keeping it flat out through there, up into 8th. Let's see how late will he break. Right at the 50 board, turn it in, keeping that Mercedes nice and planted there. Not getting too out of shape. Watch the wheel spin here into the switchback. Taking a neat through there, a little slow in the acceleration, but he's trying to pick it up. I believe this is the this is Hanger or Wellington after in Sector 1.
I believe it is Wellington. However, if it is not, I've upset somebody, and that is purple right now through Sector 1.
That is purple indeed. Zoom now really pushing on those softs. He's kept it on the track this time. Well done. The long run down into Cops. Getting real up close and personal with the old pit wall. Let's see if he's learned his lesson. Will he shift down to 7th? No, he's right about there. Very gutsy driving from the Mercedes driver here into Maggots and Beckett's. How's that car looking? And that's into the pit. That's into the wall.
That car is looking like it can't drive anymore.
That will be a early retirement for Zoom. He will start P14, assuming no other drivers set times faster than his, which is not one. Anywho, though, lots of drivers on flyers here. We've got Groggy finishing his up right now in that Haas car. Setting those medium striped tires. into club. Let's see what the computer's going to give him here. Just kissing that curb on the inside. Let's see. Cross the line. It's going to be 128.7. A really speedy lap from the Haas driver there.
Not too bad there on mediums.
No, not at all. In fact, he's already faster than... was that Big Mr. Brown was on the softs earlier? Set that 129? Or are those his current fitted?
No, I believe those are his current fitted times.
Okay, for sure. Well, yeah, good for Groggy to get up there. I think we've got... Who do we have on a flyer right now?
Currently looking at... Oh, I was trying to see which one of our guys have not validated their laps. Looks like we should have the coach out here. No, the coach is also... Yeah, the coach is about to finish up his lap right now in the Renault.
Wonderful. Let's see how he does.
And that was a pretty poor time there from the coach, 130.3 on the mediums. He's not going to be too happy back there.
Yeah, you got to find about two more seconds if you want to get through on those tires. Big Mr. Brown here, though, on his flyer, pushing those soft tires. I was getting a little unstuck through Luffield. Into Copps, keeping it in 7th. Big liftoff there. Back on the power, though. Getting a nice little tow from the Ferrari up front, that would seem. Into Maggots and Beckett's. That's an invalidation. Ever tricky trying to get that first turn in right, because it can, if you get it wrong, it will ruin your lap.
Oh, yeah, most certainly. And still surprised there. That right-hander, I believe that is... What's the right-hander before Maggots and Beckett's?
That is... the Copps. It's Copps corner.
Yeah, so it is
Yeah.
Copps. I did not want to miscall it and people think I was being crazy. Yeah, I wish some of our guys knew that they could take that full throttle, but it doesn't look like too many of them either know that you can or have the confidence to not run wide and invalidate your lap right there. I just want to see some dude take it as quick as possible.
It is also important to remember, folks, that a lot of these drivers, since it is Division 3, this is kind of a more casual division than what we usually have. So a lot of these guys will be on controller. Not to say controller isn't fast, but some maneuvers about changing direction at high speed are difficult, very difficult with a joystick.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I tried doing no assist on pad for 2 months, and yeah, never again will I want to do that.
Quite the masochist, Nick.
Yeah, just definitely not for me. That is for sure.
In fact, it's one of that very reason I didn't really want to chance driving tonight. Doing 50% races on a controller it just is not my idea of fun. I know folks do it, and a lot of even my teammate does it. But it really starts to cramp my hands around 75% distance. It gets really hard to focus.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, you have pretty quick guys who are on pad. I mean, you look like B-Dunk in Division 1. I mean, he's a pad guy, and he is phenomenally quick in doing so as well. So just it's not some people's cup of tea. It does save you quite some money, though. That is
Yeah. Tell me about it, man. I just dropped $200 on the Fanatec store yesterday. All right, we are here with Deluxe Cord. It looks like he is throwing down the challenge for anyone who wants to claim his throne. Flying down the Sector 1 straight here. Breaking late. That's already a purple sector from Deluxe Cord. Into left field. Taking an early apex there, looking for the double. Boom. Beautifully done. Doing well to not run wide on that outside curb. Let's see how close we'll get to the old pit wall. Oh, barely giving it a wave now into Copps. Let's see. He'll probably keep it in 7th all the way through here. Seemed to me like he kept power down there, Nick. Into Maggots and Beckett's.
Lifted just a little bit, but so far so good from Deluxe.
Car looking absolutely planted through Maggots and Beckett's. A little bit onto the grass there. No worries. DRS wide open. One more long run before the very fast right-hander. Taking that beautifully and not letting the curbs get him too out of shape. Into the hard braking zone. Right before the 50 board. Turning in, keeping it in 3rd. Let's see, short shift into 4th. Right there. There it is. Power down. to the start line, and that's a new fastest lap, folks. 1:26.5.
Yeah, very, very well done there from Deluxe Sport. I mean, only improving up by about a tenth, but I mean, he's still 8 tenths ahead from P2.
Yeah, Funky Cactus will have to put on a monster lap if he'd like to match that one. Seems we've got Dark Ghost, Rock Lobster, Groggy, Redeemer, Big Mr. Brown, Night Shrimp to coach, and Alpha Nesis on outlaps right now. Anyone in particular you'd like to see, Nick?
Just the closest guy up front. Hopefully we get everyone in here. Looks like we have the Renault of the coach. He's actually going on an outlap here. Should be the Haas. Groggy's also on an out. He might be the first guy kind of starting off.
So we got Dark Ghost coming through right now.
Oh, most definitely in the Red Bull. I was about to completely ignore our Red Bull driver.
Should watch your words carefully. I don't think Dr. Helmet Barco would like that.
Oh, definitely not. He would not.
He might send you to camp.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go into any camp that involves Helmet Marco sending me, so I'll take a hard pass.
But it would be free Red Bull. It would be quite fun.
I am quite good.
I'm sorry. On board with Dark Ghost here. Into Cops. Dark Ghost coming out with that surprise win in France. Take a bit of a break. Ooh, and he's lost it through Cops, and he's just kept it out of the barrier there. A great save, but that is definitely going to be a broken half front wing. And a retirement. Wow. That's that seems sudden.
Will, just ignore that and keep it on to our next drivers here in qualifying. Dark Ghost may have retired on track.
On with Fontes now on a flyer, doing really well through Cops there. Yellow flags ahead, of course, for the stricken Red Bull. Looking very good through there. Let's see how he'll take this next one. Getting perfect entry through there, and that's a purple Sector 2 for the Toro Rosso driver. Fantas might got something cooking here. Let's see what he does into the rest of Sector 3. Taking it really well through the long right-hander. Losing his acceleration a little bit on the exit, but let's see. He's going to brake nice and late, turn in nice and early, ride that inside curb. One more inside curb, short shift third, short shift fourth. He's got the power down. He's got the traction. Deluxe Cord's retired from the session. Oh, and he won't get pipped. Fantas, only a 128 flat. Not enough. Session over so far, though. Your top three, Deluxe Cord, Funky Cactus, Vexing Track, followed by Father Corn, Fantas, PPR Ollies, Groggy Oregano, Rock Lobster, Dark Ghost, and 1776. Redeemer setting a fast one there at the very end to get P5 as the session just ends. And Ollies is out of the session.
But it does look like we have the racing point, of the Vexing track rounding about the final turn right here. Luckily, I've got my voice back. And see if Funky Cactus can beat out his teammate. Needs 2 tenths in this lap. I don't think he has it. He does not.
Ooh.
Not improve on his time at all.
And such a tight battle between those two teammates. Maybe we'll see some fireworks into the start here today.
Yeah, or one of them trying to protect the other from anyone that's trying to get up in those spots. Because it looks like Deluxe Sport, I mean, don't want to speak too soon, haven't started a single lap of the race, but he might have the pace to take away with it tonight. So they might try to protect themselves early on in the race and during the start.
Yeah, let's see the driver's standings. The driver with priority for Racing Point would be Vexing Track. So Cactus likely there. Cactus has got to keep an eye out for Redeemer and Orange Crush. Those are his nemesis today. So I think Vexing might just be able to chase down Deluxe. It could be in for a really great battle for P1.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, can't count them out whatsoever. As I believe we're just waiting for, just for Fantas here to come in the pits. I don't understand why it's still out.
Oh, Fantas was, I think he started he was technically on a flyer right before time expired, so now he has to wait for him to get all the way around again. There we go. All right, on to the race, folks. Nick, why don't you run us through the start order here once it loads. Nick, can you hear me? Well, folks, in Nick's absence, Deluxe Chord, Vexing Track, Funky Cactus, Father Corn, Redeemer, Fantas, Big Mr. Brown, Ollie's, Groggy Oregano, and Rock Lobster round out your top 10 here at Silverstone. On the Choose Your Own Adventure category, we've got Sprightly, Dark Ghost, SF, Orange Crust, Randoms, Decoach, Night Shrimp, Zoom, PV9, and bringing up the rear is Alpha Nisus in that Ferrari car.
Looks like the Zoom has actually left the session. Hopefully he can get back in before the start of the race. Also, from our director backstage, he is asking to turn my volume up just a tad.
Ah, yes.
bit.
Not to worry. Get on that right now. All right, let's try that out. Say something for me.
I'm saying everything about a great Xbox Division 3 race here at PPR.
Wonderful, folks. I hope that will do the trick for the time being. Wait for the race to spool up here, but we should be ready to go soon.
So, who are we thinking top 3? Who are going to be our podium finishers by the end of the race?
I think one of the McLarens can get in on the mix, just on strategy. You never know here. There's safety cars are never really kind of far off in the distance at Silverstone. If somebody decides to overcook it through cops, or take a curb wrong, it's such a high-speed track. I think that if you're starting in the top 10, you could definitely see yourself maybe knocking on the door for a podium later in the race, given a safety car.
Oh, most definitely. And yeah, I don't think I'd count out that McLaren of Redeemer.
Redeemer is fast on his day. Same with Korn is on that team as well, right? Or is he in tonight? Forgive me, folks. I don't think I see him on the roster here. We're just loading in now, waiting for players. I do hope there are no technical difficulties. So those of you at home, while we wait here, do feel free to check out our brand new website, PPResports.com. We just launched it this week. It's going to be our new hub for all things esports, iRacing, Formula One, Assetto Corsa Competizioni, and all other kinds of motorsport-related things. We've also launched a blog this week, so if you're interested in any motorsport-related reading or maybe just a little lighthearted satire, we hope we can maybe fill that void in your life. Nick, what do you think about the website?
Oh, and looks something is going on right now with the formation lab.
Yeah, and my spectator menu is displaying 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Folks,
Yeah.
You'll have to forgive us here. I think we're supposed to be on a formation lap, but Ollie's was given a time penalty, I think.
Yeah, the coach has DNF'd. Yeah, I don't know exactly what.
We got Redeemer doing a dance on the grid. Big Mr. Brown's in the pits.
Yeah, definitely.
We got Sprightly running off to the side of the track. Folks, if you got any guesses, look, check it. Here are the fans. They seem to be enjoying it though. Folks, if you got any ideas, leave some suggestions in the chat because we would love to know what is going on. We got Sprightly driving through brake markers. And that'll do it, folks. We're going to go to a quick technical issue break. So just mind us for only a minute here. All right, I turned off audio output and audio. All right, folks, we are loading back into the game very shortly here. Bit of a technical issue there. These things can happen, especially when you're dealing with Xbox Live and Friday nights. It's a very high traffic time of the week. Nick, do you like Xbox Live?
Oh, I love Xbox Live. I think it's more to do with a Code Masters glitch because the way it looked. Yeah, I'm gonna blame Cody's on this one, like I always do. But luckily, or I should say, hopefully, our formation lap does not turn into Wreckfest as soon as our guys try to warm up their tires.
Oh yeah, I think we'll be okay. Dry race. I wouldn't fret. I the one thing you should definitely keep an eye out for in Division 3 is safety car chaos, specifically under safety car. Um, at France, if my I ended up I was one of the I think one of like three people who spun under safety car. Um, we're not the most. I mean, at least I'm not.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask, how do you spin under a safety car?
I think Ericsson hit us.
Yeah, probably, probably Ericsson.
Should I say that into the mic a little more so I can sound like Roman? I'm kidding, folks. We're back here. It's the formation lap. The tires will have one lap to get nice and warm, get those brakes nice and toasty. I would pretty much guess that Deluxe is going to probably take this at about 75% speed and try to get these guys back around as fast as possible.
Yeah, most likely. Luckily he didn't do what you saw it in the Division One race where Chandler just cut across every single turn through 3 and 5. So
Well, I guess there's. I do remember that, and I guess that there's. Since this isn't technically racing conditions, you're allowed to do that. One of those funny little things about Codemasters. Until they wave the green flag, it's all kind of up for grabs. But yeah, our starting order, folks. Just one more time for you: Deluxe Cord, Vexing Track, Funky Cactus, Father Corn, Redeemer, Fantas, Big Mr. Brown, Ollies, Groggy Oregano, Rock Lobster. And starting the Choose Your Own Adventure category, we have Sprightly, Dark Ghost, SF, Orange Crush, Randoms to Coach, Night Shrimp, the Zoom, PV9, and bringing up the rear is Alpha Nesis. Nick, what's your start strategy here? Do you try to be more conservative, or are you sticking your nose maybe where it doesn't belong?
I'm definitely conservative through turn one. Turn one you can take flat out, but you'll see most guys hang back to avoid any contact because it's really tricky when you're trying to take 2-3 cars through that off the start. Yeah, usually you don't want to be too conservative where you start losing places, but definitely if there's only a small window, you just don't shoot for it. You can't win the race on lap one, even though there are some guys who think you can. But no, yeah, just play it to where you keep your position and you just don't fall back.
Yeah, the age-old adage. The age-old adage. You can't win it on the first lap, but you can definitely lose it. All right.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And we've got most of the pack here turning through club, getting themselves nice and lined up. Folks, it's the granddaddy of them all. Nick, I'll let you count us off for the lights and away we go.
Yes, as it looks like just waiting for the final two to load into their good boxes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here for Xbox Division 3 at Silverstone. Looks like all the guys getting a fairly clean get off right there.
Funky Cactus falling down the field, though, from P2 to 7.
Yeah, looked like he might have made some contact. Oh, the racing point of Funky. Yeah, he's off again. Looks to me like he might have made contact with either a Williams or Mercedes. Couldn't quite make it out, but he's way back now.
Oh, and how about my earlier prediction about a McLaren sneaking into the podiums?
Yep, like we talked earlier, yeah, Eliar Redeemer already jumping on it. Not even half a lap into the race, he's found himself into P3.
Got a great midfield battle here. We got Sprightly, Night Shrimp jockeying for a position. Dark Ghost leading this nice big pack here. About 6 cars. We're going 2 wide into Cops. How's that worked out?
With the zoom
Oh, that's going to be, that will probably bring out a safety car for sure. That's our first retirement of the race, folks. No idea what happened there, but that will be race over for the Alfa Romeo driver. Condolences to Night Trip, and that's a Red Bull going very slowly of Orange Crush, missing both of his end plates there. A lot of chaos in the back of the field here, folks.
Yeah, Sprightly's getting just attacked every which way right now by the Ferrari of Alpha.
Ooh, randoms. Almost running into the back of Sprightly. He did the honorable thing and pulled out of that one, but it has cost him loads of track position. He's dropped about 4 positions. Sprightly up into the points now, P10, hot on the tail of Alphanesis, who has had a tremendous start. He was back row, I believe, at the beginning of this session, correct?
Yeah, he was. So he's doing a terrific job. I believe he was all the way back in 20th. So he's already up in the P9.
We've got Dark Ghost chasing down Ollie's. Ollie's chasing down Mr. Brown. Lot of great British team action here at the home race, of course. Right now, though, it's an American team leading us off here. Deluxe Cord flying around, pulling out about a second lead over Vexing Track right now.
Yeah, hasn't really gotten out to a really commanding start like I thought he may. But yeah, Vexing Track doing a pretty decent job right now, keeping it within 1 second.
Ooh, Korn having a really poor run through Maggots and Beck. His Fantas will say thank you very much. Probably have the run on him right here. That should be no problem at all. That Alfa Romeo was slower than molasses through that section. Into the long right-hander. Father Korn back up the inside. Fantas having a look up the inside. He's going to go cut the grass there for a second. Unfortunately, there's not lawn care needed now. Father Korn going very defensive into club. Fantas looking for something there. Father Korn, brilliant defensive move, getting him on that little switchback niggle there. Toro Rosso running very wide, but that little extra run's giving him quite a bit of exit speed. PB9 Magic, though, stopped in Sector 2 there. Is that car still underway, Nick?
On my track map, it looks like it is. I'm unsure what went wrong right there for PB9 Magic.
Looking down the rest of the field, we've got, looks like Ollie's is going to go, that's not, Ollie's is off the track? Stopped on the track,
Yeah.
It would seem.
Yeah, it looks like Ollie's spun it around right there, and he just lost any progress that he had gained, as he looks like he's going to drop down to P16 now.
Very unfortunate for Ollie's there, slipping to the back of the field. Kind of coming off the biggest loser so far, him and Funky Cactus. Funky Cactus falling off the front row. Ollie's down from starting in the top 10. Big winners of the day so far, 3 laps in. Alphanesis up from back row already into P8, as well as Dark Ghost up 5 positions. And Redeemer sniffing a podium here, perhaps, now up into P3. What do you think your battle to watch is here, Nick?
Right now, I'm looking at Alphanesis on Dark Ghost as he's shooting down the inside of that Red Bull.
Yes, I'm on board with them as well. Brilliant overtaking maneuver there. Dark Ghost will have to concede, but Dark Ghost really isn't the type to say no. Back up the inside of the Ferrari, late on the brakes. Let's see, very reminiscent of Silverstone 2019. Ferrari and a Red Bull battling it out here early in the race. Dark Ghost running very wide on the exit there, and that's the penalty I think we were all waiting for.
Yeah, but instead of the 2019 incident, we got a Ferrari that knew how to make his way past.
Yeah, that penalty will unfortunately put Dark Ghost on level pegging with Sprightly. Sprightly then is running P8. Well done to him. DRS open here for Dark Ghost. Let's see how we're going to do. Alphanesis not choosing to go defensive at all. The Red Bull just trying to stay tucked right behind. Into left field. Everyone looking real tidy through there. No one really wants to get too out of shape. Not a long run down to Cops. Let's see who's going to be braver here. Nice is keeping it in 7th. Will it take it flat? Ooh, bit of a lift off there. Dark Ghost keeping the power down. It's closing up on the rear of that Ferrari. Big Mr. Brown's going to be served a time penalty there.
Yeah, Big Mr. Brown is right on the gearbox of Fantas and Father Corn as well. These guys are really close.
Excellent dogfight here. The Alfa Romeo sticking it to the outside. Fanta's going to try to go up the inside here. Ooh, wheel to wheel through there. That's a wheel on the grass. They've made contact. The Toro Rosso's done well to save himself. That's the hand of death going up from Fantas. Big Mr. Brown trying to get under action. The Toro Rosso driver under attack from every side, it would seem.
Yeah, Father Corn definitely putting the elbows out right there. And then, yeah, Big Mr. Brown. Oh, it looks like Fantas now.
That is.
Can he save it? Oh, it doesn't look like he can. He's going to fall back way back in the grid now.
It would seem Fantas has bought himself a one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm there. Very unfortunate. Let's hope to see him back later in this race. Father Corn, though, now leading Big Mr. Brown, leading Alfa Nice is now up into P6. Still on those soft compound tires.
Yeah, Alfa Nice is doing a fantastic job right now. If he can find himself on the podium, still quite a long race, pretty quick guy in front of him. But the way he's driving right now, he is a man on a mission.
Certainly, and the way this race is looking so far, there doesn't seem to be any stop in the action soon. Not to mention that our top 11 runners are on identical strategy, Nick. What do you think is going to happen there? Ooh, Big Mr. Brown, he's lost it. Brown, buddy. Exit of Beckett's.
Terrible for him. Dark Ghost might be able to get him right here.
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be no contest. Red Bull trying to go up the inside there. Let's see if he can make the move stick. Probably no hassle move. Constantining up. That is a racing point back there. Having a look at the action ahead. Alfa Nice is trying to chase down Father Corn right now.
Yeah, Alfa Nice is now, did a great job getting up the grid. Now he's picking up places off the driver's mistakes in front of him. So sitting pretty there in P5.
We got Groggy, though, clawing his way back in. He's now up to P10. Ooh, that's a racing point. That looks...
that
was
terrible.
Cactus. The camera angle I had on him was crazy. He was coming across of Groggy's camera. I just see a racing point decide to sayonara himself off the track there.
Yeah, and these guys are starting to reach really the first decent amount of tire wear on their tires. And maybe they're pushing a little bit too hard and just can't catch it before the tires can hold up.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of drivers now finding kind of that second level to the rubber.
Vexing Track.
Oh.
Vexing Track has gone off as well. The Racing Point team is having a horrible day. There's both cars in one lap who both spun.
Let's see if I can get eyes on him. Yes, that looks to be a Racing Point going very slowly in front of almost running Big Mr. Brown off the track. Vexing is missing most of his front right wing. Oh, Spratley going to be served a 3-second time penalty there.
Vexing lost it out of the tops. And, he's lucky enough that he didn't DNF. He just threw the front wing in the barrier and let it take the load of the crash.
Certainly, that's going to be Vexing into the pits. SF trying to have a move on Big Mr. Brown, trying to sail that banana boat up the inside of the Papaya McLaren, and that's going to be move done. No contest. Big Mr. Brown losing a lot of ground there. Groggy maybe smelling an overtake here. Dark Ghost going to be served another time penalty. Ooh, Random's trying to have a look up the inside there. Random's has lost it. It's Random's into the barrier.
Oh, and that is Random's done for the day.
Oof. There you have it, folks. Like I said, safety cars are never far off at Silverstone, and that's your first of the day. Let's see who's heading around Sector 3. It looks to be a Red Bull. Unfortunately, those drivers will not really be able to benefit being on hard tires, but this will give them a fighting chance now later in the race. Vexing Track thanking his lucky stars for that safety car.
Yeah, so for these guys, they have hit just the amount of life here they're going to need in the medium tires, so they can all bid for mediums right now. I don't think anyone has anything to gain by staying out any further in the race. If I'm most of these guys in the softs, I'm probably coming in for the bids.
Oh, may as well take advantage of it. You won't get another chance this great, maybe for a while. Let's see here. Let's ride along with the leader. see who decides to go into the pits. That's a Red Bull stopped in pit lane. Deluxe is going to go into the pits. Let's see what Redeemer decides to do here. That will be Redeemer into the pits. That will be Father Korn. Alpha Nesis up to P4 now, having an excellent drive. Let's see what Dark Ghost decides to do here. Yep. Everyone's going to be...
Yeah, kind of how I predicted. I expect pretty much the entire field to come in. So, safety car, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to really benefit anyone. I don't think anyone on any strategy.
The entire field went into the pits.
Yeah, now, who this is going to hurt is teams who are double stacking. Right
Oh,
now.
I didn't even think about that. Who's gotten jumped?
The Mercedes team right now, Zoom has to wait on Sprightly in the pits.
Oh, no.
And
Brutal.
looks like, other than that, though, for somehow, even though the entire grid is pitting, yeah, only the Mercedes team is going to be affected by that.
Just my luck.
Right
There you have it, folks. All of our runners in top 5 going for the mediums are Mr. Brown and Fantast, instead opting for the hard tire, believing that the tire life maybe will play a factor at the end of this race. 18 laps to go here. Let's see. Vexing Track getting... Wow, he really got a godsend, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he definitely did. But I have to say, to the guys who are on the hards that just finished the hards, definitely the wrong tire to be on. You're going to be too slow at the beginning of the stint, and then you're not going to make up enough pace on the mediums at the end to really affect, for the tire wear to happen.
Oh, are you talking about the guys who, like to coach, maybe? Who's got those 6-lap-old hards?
No, so what I'm looking at right now is Big Mr. Brown and Fantas in 6th and 7th, both on the mediums. They're probably going to get jumped by Dark Ghost off the start, and then maybe fall back to the other 3 medium runners. It's just mediums can be so much quicker than the hards that, and at a track here like Silverstone, I mean, overtaking is in an abundance, so I don't think they made the right call there on the tires. Interesting
stuff. I myself hadn't really looked into the strategy today. It is a one-stopper, though, kind of like, no doubt, barring safety cars, but these tires are graded to go the distance at this track.
Yeah, and the mediums, you could take them up to 20 laps before you're probably going to puncture. I mean, they're spinning 2, maybe 3 laps here on their safety cars, so they're probably only doing a real, 15 laps here on these tires, quick mass.
Oh, that's a great point, too. So the medium guys aren't really scrubbing that life off, and the hard guys are going to be kind of stuck with all that extra, maybe not as fast rubber.
Yeah, pretty much. And I take that back. Looks like probably do 16 laps if the safety car comes in. So yeah, 15, 16 laps.
That is Orange Crush trying to catch the pack back there. I think he'll have about half a lap to close that distance up. Funky Cactus overtaking Zoom there under safety car. Not sure what that's about.
Not sure either. Looks like Funky Cactus is actually in his AI right now. He's probably fixing something. So maybe the Zoom went off a little bit, and the AI the AI will do that. So I don't know if that was the intent there for Funky.
Well, that's unfortunate if it wasn't his fault. There's those cars Constantineering up right there. The Haas having to dodge the back of, Haas of Grog having to dodge the back of Sprightly. I'm curious how Deluxe Cord will want to restart this pack.
He's probably be looking to punch up the pack just a little bit and see if he can't get a nice little jump start here from Redeemer in second.
Yeah, Redeemer's gonna have to win that reaction time battle, isn't he, if he wants to have a shot at winning this thing?
Oh, most definitely. And you gotta look. So final stint of the race, Alpha Nesis and SF in 4th and 5th might take away these last 2 podium spots here from Redeemer and Father Korn if they are not safe. And yet, safety car will be in this lap.
Well, there you have it. Everyone getting their tires warm. That's going to be Deluxe just bunching everyone up. Of course, the only rule being once you start to speed up, you cannot slow down, and there is no overtaking until the timing line in through the right-hander here. Deluxe being nice and slow, just keeping that car in third. Down to second even. And he's off. Let's see here, folks. Deluxe, Redeemer, Father Corn, those are your podium paying positions under safety car restart. Behind them, Alpha Nesis, SF, Big Mr. Brown, Fantas, Lord Dark, Ghost, Vexing, Track, and Sprightly. And we're back underway. That's green flags, folks. Deluxe Cord not really getting the getaway he wanted. Redeemer already hot on his tail in through turns 2 and 3 here. To turn on the telemetry and see if we've got an overtake on the books. Yes, we do, folks. Redeemer's got that papaya car turned all the way up here.
Yeah, right now, not having the benefit of DRS, gonna want to just keep it within a good second here and see if he cannot make a move maybe when DRS comes around.
Deluxe certainly feeling the pressure, though, going a little defensive there. Maybe seeing that orange car in his rearview mirror has got his blood pressure pumping after he had a pretty comfortable lead into Cop's corner. Redeemer doing really well to keep that car planted even in dirty air. Maggots and Beckett's upcoming. Let's see how the McLaren driver does. Closing up very well to Deluxe there. Running a little wide on the exit there, a little deep.
Yeah, you can see how much going wide right there just cost Redeemer. He went from about 2 to 6 tenths just like that.
Yeah, it unfortunately undid all the hard work he'd put in halfway through the last sector. Other close battles on track, though. Corn, absolutely. Alphanesis here battling it out for the final podium.
Yeah, Alphanesis just got that overtake done, and now Redeemer's going to have to watch out. I mean, he's worried about keeping up with Deluxe here, but Alphanesis is on a tear. I wonder if he can't maybe, if he gets past Redeemer, put up a good fight here with Deluxe Sport.
Yeah, we would certainly love to see that. Alphanesis right up on the back of that McLaren now, though. Seems he decided that he would like to be the one to challenge Deluxe today, not Redeemer. Sensational stuff from the Ferrari driver. Redeemer going very defensive, moving back across the Ferrari. Ferrari's going to just dodge in there and see if he gets the switchback. No, Redeemer parked it on the apex very well there into left field. Let's see. He's going to have a look up the inside. Redeemer's just going to close the door. Alphanesis getting that Ferrari car nice and turned up. Long run down to Cops here. Let's see. Redeemer just sticking to the racing line, looking a lot slower in a straight line, maybe opting for a heavier aero package today. Both drivers doing really well to keep it in 7th gear. The Ferrari's right on the back of the McLaren there. Maybe he can go for an overtake through Maggots and Beckett's. I doubt it. He'll pull out of that one and maybe have a look down. I believe it's the Wellington straight there in Sector 3.
And he's gotten a great exit. Redeemer not getting out of Beckett's as well.
That was tight through there. Redeemer just giving him a bit of a nudge. Let's see. He's going up the inside. Alphanesis, Redeemer side by side. Redeemer's going to have to slot back. Will he try to poke it up the inside right here? Yes, he's going to have a poke his nose in there. Nothing really going. Father Corn will say, thanks for slowing down, bud. He wants back in this new fastest lap. Deluxe Cord, 1:31 is your time to beat. Great battle up at the front here, folks. Funky Cactus is going to go into the pits there. Not sure why.
Yeah, I didn't see anything too special there with the Racing Point driver, but this battle between Alphanesis and Redeemer, you know, got Father Corn and SF all on a train, has allowed Deluxe Sport to get up a 3-second gap. I mean, he was barely over a second just a lap and a half ago, and all that battling has now put Deluxe Sport in a prime position up there in first place. Yes,
certainly. It's now become a kind of a race for second. Very unfortunate, but as these are racing drivers, any point counts. So do not expect anyone to settle in and not want to claim those last 2 podiums. Ooh, Corn trying to have a look up the inside there. Redeemer's just going to cover him off. Let's see, running really well through there. Let's see, does Corn have any tricks up his sleeve? Redeemer looking very planted through there. Alfa Romeo running in all that dirty air. Very slow, the exit of Beckett's. He will have the DRS, but it seems he's lost a lot of ground to the cars ahead.
Yeah, he definitely has. And Alphanesis is now starting to pull into the Lux Sports gap. He's now cut out half a tenth just in this lap. So now he's got past all these cars behind him. Looks like he's going to have a run here at the Haas.
Let's head to the back of the pack here, folks. Looks like we got some action brewing between Ollies and Sprightly. Ollies trying to go over a bit of a comeback drive. I think he had a bit of a tough qualifying, crashing out, right?
Yeah, and didn't have the greatest start to the race either, so looking to put Sprightly further back. Sprightly was at one point in this race in the points positions, so both these drivers trying to get themselves back up there in the top 10.
Can almost hear the adrenaline in Ollie's throttle application. He is redlining that Williams. Sprightly leaving the door wide open for him, but we're going to go wheel to wheel down to Copse. Let's see. Can the Mercedes driver try to hold it around the outside? But looks like the Williams has just gotten in front. Yes, that'll be move done for Ollie's, and that is a racing point.
Track.
He has still got that car underway, it would seem, but he is off the circuit. What a disastrous day for the Silverstone-based outfit. A day that started with so much promise now has both their drivers running P16 and 17 respectively. Quite the roller coaster of a race, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I didn't want to say it before the race, but Racing Point has had some great qualifying sessions. But I believe it was a week or 2 weeks ago, they did the same thing up second and third, and just kind of threw it all away in the race. It may have been the France race.
Yeah, unfortunately I crashed out of that one nice and early, so I didn't see how that battle ended. But they are very fast drivers. There is no doubt about that. Vexing Track, really great driver. Cactus and I had a great battle at Monaco this year. He is certainly not someone who gives an inch. Speaking of giving an inch, will Father Korn give an inch to Redeemer here? Redeemer maybe looking for the cutback into left field now. Korn, ooh, he's not going to leave the door open at all. No, Redeemer maybe having a peek. Let's see now. That McLaren tucked right into the slipstream. Run down to Copse. How will our drivers take it? Having a look up the inside. Nothing really going there. Korn taking a really shallow line there. Not wanting Redeemer to maybe try and shoot up the inside. Into Maggots now. Let's see. Little kiss of that inside curb. Korn running really, really deep through there. And he has lost momentous amounts of time. Redeemer smiling to himself. Probably cackling in the Xbox Live party. Let's see. Ooh, it's up the inside. The McLaren's going to try and stick it. He has stuck it. Father Korn's going to have to concede that position. SF will say, thank you very much for fighting, fellas. I'm very much back in this.
SF is coming on the charge now. He sees these guys battling. He might be able to slip himself up into P3 before they even know it.
It's always better to let the race come to you sometimes, isn't it, Nick?
Oh, most definitely. And SF's been doing a great job, too. I mean, he's saving up some battery right now, and he just let the race come to him.
I believe these three drivers are all on identically matched tires, correct?
Yes, they are. They're all 7 laps in on the mediums. I mean, that's everyone from 1st to 6th right now, all on the same tires. But Father Korn back on the outside. Redeemer just shooting it. Looks like he's going to lose that position. Yeah, he went in too deep, but these guys taking some karting lines right now.
I love it. Ooh, we've got a tight one. Korn, Redeemer in a dogfight into Copse. It's side by side. Alfa Romeo and the McLaren. Ooh, the Alfa's just going to back out, run over the grass. Redeemer's going to run very wide over the exit there. Let's hope he didn't get any penalties for that. Into Maggots and Beckett's. Let's see, Redeemer going awkwardly slow through there, losing loads of time and picking up a penalty in the process. Father Korn is now the one cackling to himself in the Xbox Live party. DRS wide open. Redeemer sticking to the middle of the track. Korn having a look up the inside. Will Redeemer sweep back across? Yes, he will. Shut the door right in his face. SF only 3/10 back now. Definitely in the mirrors of Father Korn, soon to be in Redeemers, if these two don't sort out their differences sooner or later.
Yeah, looking at the onboard of SF, he's been taking peeks and just looking if he has a chance maybe to get both of these guys. But he's playing it pretty smart back here as, yeah, Redeemer and Father Korn have been having quite the scrap right now.
There is something kind of it's a magical quality about Silverstone. It really brings out the animal in all the drivers.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And looks like, yeah, that's now Sprightly with 3 seconds penalty. Redeemer maybe pulling out just a little bit here now from Korn, but Korn's going to have to be careful of SF right behind him.
Oh, we got a great camera angle there on this nice little trio. Redeemer leading Corn, leading SF. Corn and Redeemer here running very close. Deluxe Cord being handed a penalty. Alpha Nesis now is in contention for the lead of this race. Can you believe that?
That is crazy. Alphanesis may go last to first in this race. That would be just absurd to see.
It would be a
And
sensational result for sure.
See, these guys are still battling it out. Can Father Corn get back at Redeemer here? Ooh, gonna take the outside line. Don't know if that's gonna pay off for him.
It looks like he might have done it.
It looks like it does.
Wow.
And now here's SF. SF took a peek on Redeemer, but still nothing doing for him. Yeah, it looked like Redeemer might have got a touch of grass right here. That was the reason Father Corn got such a great exit compared to the McLaren driver.
Would also seem our friend in the banana boat's got that car turned all the way up. I think he's trying to get past them now. He's kind of starting to have second thoughts about this, wait and see strategy.
Yeah, I mean, still 9 laps to go, but I mean, this is definitely now the only podium spot that these guys will be able to take up for grabs. No P2, as they're now 8 seconds back from all this bad news.
And look who's now creeping, slowly but surely creeping into the view of SF now because of all this fighting between the Alpha and the McLaren. Dark Ghost has got that gap down to about 1.5.
Yeah, that Red Bull driver is slowly creeping up. I mean, we could, in a few laps' time, have a 4-way battle for P3.
Very scintillating stuff here, folks. Gap between these cars, less than a second. Dark Ghost now down to 1.56. Our other closest battles on track. We've got Ollie's trying to cut his way through the field down in P15. That is, he's 8/10 back on Vexing. Vexing trying to get back in the fight. Having a look at DeCoach there. But the battle, folks, that we've had our eyes on for a while now is this jolly little trio up at the front here. Redeemer, SF, Father Corn, and we've got yellow flags. That is DeCoach, I believe, stopped on the side of the track.
Yes, it is. Looks like he just spun around. And I can also report that Alphanesis does not have a penalty, and he has not gotten a single warning all night. So this is all up to the Lux board now to pick up on that 3-second time penalty that he just picked up.
And speaking of penalties, Father Corn just ejected himself out of a podium. He just picked up a 3-second there.
We also got to know that Redeemer also has a 3-second time penalty. This might be all grabs for SF, as I don't believe he has one at all so far here in the race. I'll take another quick peek at our race director.
I'll narrate this one. SF's finally in on the fight. The McLaren's going to break very early. Oh, it's a safety car. Mid-overtake. We've got a car off the track somewhere, don't we? That's a Ferrari stopped on the track.
Oh, it is. That is Rock Lobster off the track.
Rock Lobster. What it appears he's lost it into the left-hand side of Maggots and Beckett's.
Yes, I believe so. That is very unfortunate. And for our guys now that started to pick up time penalties, SF, no time penalty. Alphanesis as well. So once we get back and start the racing, I mean, guys who kept it clean all race, we might have a complete shakeup of our entire podium spots now. Yeah,
certainly. Deluxe maybe not feeling as comfy as he did about 1 lap ago. I really feel for SF, though. He was literally alongside Redeemer, and then the safety car was deployed, and he had to back off. But I think it was move done. He should be P4 right now.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate. It looked like, yeah, he was going to get that banana boat pass, but another yellow flag of a safety car came up in front. So still P5. I mean, they're probably going to come back out, probably have a nice little 5-lap shootout.
I was going to say, we could be in for a Brazil situation here. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And for guys like Deluxe and Corn and Redeemer, who all have penalties, I mean, this is really going to hurt their race. Because the safety car late in the race, guys in front of you, guys behind you don't have time penalties. You're just racing to hope that they pick one up, or that you can just build out a substantial gap in just a few laps.
Don't you think it'd be funny if in F1 they deleted all your time penalties if a safety car is deployed?
Oh, I mean, that would be terrific. You have people like Squirmy in PC Division 2 who picks up ungodly amounts of penalties, and it'd be a safety car, and he would be fine. I mean, then you just cut the entire track, all race, and pray that you get a safety car at the end.
I can see how my theory might be flawed. Dark Ghost, severe collision with SF. I don't think SF's going to get any damage from that if it was from behind. But a Dark Ghost ejecting himself kind of out of the points there. Maybe not keeping an eye on the pack, Constantine-ing up.
Yeah, and with these 5-second time penalties too, sometimes Cody's just, as long as he clipped it, but actually he might have actually hit SF. He's missing that plate. I am going to refrain from my idea of what just happened.
Leave it to the stewards, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Always leave it up to them. Yeah, great race here, though. Folks, if you're just joining us, let me lead you. Oh, and that's, wow, Lord Dark Ghost straight into the pits. 5-second time penalty for speeding. I think he may be retiring from this one. If I had to guess, I think that might do it.
I don't see why he would. I mean, you're still in the points, and even though it's a 5-second time penalty, other guys around you also have time penalties.
Well, he's got to serve at least one right there. He's still going to have to finish with another because he sped in the pit lane. Out of this midfield group here, from about 5 through 10, who do you like in there to make a lot of gains in the closing stages of this?
I think SF has showed that he's pretty skilled in defending. He's had a good race. I think he might be able to keep P5 here, but I'm watching out for somebody. Maybe the Zoom back here in P10. I don't know how well his tires are doing. He's had a few spins, but if he can get it right, he might be able to pick up some spots there. And also Fantas as well, and P6. Pretty quick guy here in the D3 pack, so he might be up for a fight as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. But he's on the hard, so I don't know. Maybe the life in them is a little bit better than the mediums now. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, the medium runner is definitely breathing a sigh of relief. Kind of grinding him up for quite a while here, and now they finally get an opportunity to let him breathe for the closing stages of the race.
Yeah, well, and for most of the medium guys as well, I mean, they pitted under our first safety car of the night, so you take off probably two laps on those tires that they weren't really pushing at all, and now another 2 for the safety car. I mean, they've probably only done about a hard 8 laps so far on those tires, so I don't think they'd be too worn right now, even though they've been out there for 12 laps on them.
Yeah. I mean, what the estimated range is 20.
Yeah, so 20 laps. If someone pushed it more than 20, I would be shocked. Yeah, 20 laps is definitely the limit on these tires.
Doesn't look like we'll even get to that point in this race, as we're going to have one more lap of the safety car here. Nick, what are some fun things you heard around the block this week in the world of Formula One?
Oh, well, we already discussed the good old Helmut Marko situation. But probably the most intriguing to me this week has been the Silverstone opting to maybe host a reverse track race potentially, if the season gets up and running anytime in the future, which I think is kind of absurd, but it's a great way to get some races in. So you can do maybe like something like Karun Chandok was talking about. Do back-to-back races, so you could do one day regular track layout for Silverstone and then the next day reverse track. Now, how you set up qualifying for that, I have no idea. But I mean, it's an idea, and it's something that probably intrigued me the most, outside of Helmut Marko wanting to give his drivers, you know, the virus.
Yeah, folks, go ahead and let us know in the comments below what's crazier: reverse run of Silverstone or Helmut Marko's coronavirus theories. We'd love to hear from you. We value your opinion here. We'd love to know what the people think, what the word on the street is. Yeah, I mean, what are some other? I know Silverstone's one of the ones that said they would do this, but I think what are some other fun tracks you think they'd be able to pull this off at?
A reverse grid,
Reverse layout,
track. Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I don't really know what track you'd be able to do it at. I mean, I only just now thought about Silverstone because they brought it up themselves. But I don't think it will happen, and I don't think we'll see. I mean, any other track opt for that, as the safety car looks to be in this lap. So nice little shootout here at the end.
On board with Alpha Nisus here. So far, driver of the day, in my opinion. He's going to be looking to jump on Deluxe Cord.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what Deluxe decides to do here. He is backing him way up. And
Yeah. Oh, Deluxe Court got a great start out of there. Alpha is falling way back already.
Deluxe Cord moving to the side there to try and break the toe. Father Korn hot on the trail of both these guys. Alpha Nisus, though, already closing up to the Haas driver. Let's see, into turn 2. Dark Ghost, another 3-second time penalty there. His day has just kind of collapsed at the end here. Alpha Nisus running right in the rear of Deluxe Cord. Father Korn hot on his tail. Redeemer and SF fighting it out. 4P4 Fantas in the mix now on those hard compound tires down in P6. Groggy having a look. We got Big Mr. Brown, Sprightly, both Mercedes drivers into the points as well. Very, very exciting stuff happening down for the Silver Arrows. Vexing Track hot on the tail here. Let's see who gets priority between Zoom and Sprightly. Unfortunately, I don't have the bat phone handy to make the call myself, but Zoom is being the tail gunner for Sprightly right now. Trying to block Vexing there into Cop's corner. Let's see. We got Father Korn falling down the order there.
Yeah. Father Korn looks to have caught a little of his back end sliding out of love field, so he's fallen massively. But that puts Redeemer now P3 with SF right behind him.
There you have it, folks. McLaren up in the mix here, but SF would like to have the last word. 4 laps to go, folks. It's a shootout here at Silverstone. Alpha Nisus closing up on Deluxe Court as well. We could be in for a great battle here in the podiums. A lot of realigning fates this closing stages.
Oh yeah, most definitely. As it looks like, Father Korn is pitted.
Maybe Father
That is
Korn wants the
very
fastest lap.
Maybe. I mean, it's not going to matter anymore. He'll be way outside the top 10. I don't know why he pitted. Maybe
A little
from me.
gamesmanship just to make Deluxe think about it.
I guess so. And maybe he might have caught some damage off as well. So, but yeah, SF getting a beautiful run here now on Redeemer.
We got yellow flags in Sector 1. That is a Red Bull tangled up with another car, it would seem. And that's Father Korn going very slowly on track. Sprightly down to P14. Crushed slowly rejoining the track there. No idea what happened. Both cars seem to be intact, though.
Yeah, it looks like
Red Bull's
Orange
missed.
Crush and Funky Cactus made a bit of contact out there, so we're under a VSC now, so cannot avoid the safety cars here late in the race.
Temper's certainly running high. Alpha Nisus not happy about that, dropping him back almost a second now, having to keep it under that safety car delta. SF, same thing. He's kind of suffering here. A lot of good time he'd made up kind of being squandered due to that delta. Groggy, though, big winner. Look at him up to P6. He'd kind of been nowhere all race.
Yeah, we haven't really said too much about Groggy, but, I mean, he's found himself up in the P6. Very nicely done by him. The Zoom as well in P8. I mean, he's picked up 10 spots, but the guy to watch right here is Alpha Nisus, P2.
We got more yellow flags. That's Father Korn, I believe, has left the circuit down at the exit of Beckett's.
Yeah, his race has just gone to shambles the last few laps. You hate to see it.
But you know who's hasn't? Alpha Nisus, DRS wide open, having a look at the Haas car here. The Haas car staying right to the racing lane. The Ferrari just tucking himself right in. He was all pretty much right on his gearbox. Gap was down to a 10th into the corner through left field. Let's see what we got going here. That Ferrari power for the Scuderia may be playing a factor later in the race here. We got Sprightly and Orange Crush into the pits there, as well as looks to be the retired Alfa Romeo. Day done for Father Korn. Very unfortunate.
Oh, most definitely. And my thing right now here with Alphanesis, you might see is maybe he's just trying to stay behind Deluxe Cord. If he doesn't make a move right here, I think he's probably just trying to stay behind the Haas driver if he knows that he has a time penalty. As yeah, he does it right there. He just pulls up, doesn't go for the overtake. He probably knows that this is his race already won as long as he doesn't get any damage or spin off track. So maybe he's not looking for the overtake.
That's a very Alan Prost way to think. Stay within 3 seconds because overtaking would cost you more. And that's a fastest lap from Alphanesis. So he's not only in the jackpot. Oh, Vexing Track's going to steal that one back from him, though. I take that back. I was going to say, he's just playing with his food at this point. 2 laps to go here, folks. The battles maybe we should be watching should be, I think, Fantas, SF, and Redeemer. Nick, what do you think?
Oh, most definitely. And I mean, Groggy's kind of trying to get in this mix as well. So Vexing Track also, you got to watch him. He's on the soft tires. Quite a gap to pull to maybe pick up P3, but don't doubt the Racing Point team quite yet. They might find themselves on a podium.
What a fantastic recovery.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Quite the charge it would be right now, but he's on much pressure soft and need quicker tires, so we'll have to see.
I noticed SF's car is running a lot of that forward rake. Maybe looking to find a little extra downforce on the banana boat there. I couldn't believe it. He's got an extra, like, maybe 2 or 3 degrees raked forward than the rest of the field. This almost looks like a Red Bull car.
Oh, yeah, it kind of does. And it looks like he's also have to watch out here. Fantas coming in pretty quick. But all these guys kind of keeping in the same amount of gap so far.
Fantas,
like we're coming last lap.
Fantas probably realized after he caught that penalty, like I think in the last couple of turns here, that he's now got to make up the time. Deluxe Cord, 1:29.6, new fastest lap. Alphanesis is still stuck right behind him here. Last lap, folks. Let's see if we got maybe a little gutsy action up at the front here. Deluxe keeping that gap at about 5/10 steady into the switchback. Let's see. That Ferrari doesn't even have its ERS turned on. Looks like he might have burned it off on the last lap. Deluxe is probably going to sail away with this one, folks. Let's head down the rest of the field here. SF trying to mount one last offensive on Redeemer. He's got that car turned. Dressed to the nines. Into the braking zone. Braking right at 50. Turning into the left. Redeemer kind of getting a weird run through there. Looking for that double apex on the right-hander into left field. Redeemer's done it well. So is SF. Fantas running right there. He is stomping on that throttle pedal. That Honda engine sounds nice and toasty. No barbecue to worry about yet, folks. Redeemer leading SF, leading Fantas into Maggots and Beckett's here.
Oh, and that's another time penalty for Deluxe Cord, so yeah,
surely that is race 1 for Alphanesis. Dark Ghost, Vexing Track going back and forth here. Side by side into the right-hander. Let's see who's got to be braver. Vexing Track up the inside. Can he hold the move? I don't see any car in his rearview mirror. Yes, he does. Actually, I take that back. That is Groggy. Gonna let that one through. Alphanesis gonna win on penalties. There you have it, folks. Deluxe Cord, unfortunately, will have to come home P2.
Oh. And Groggy, Vexing Track, and Dark
Whoa!
all getting into each other here at the end.
What is happening? Last turn chaos into club, folks. There you have it. That's your finishing order. Nick, why don't you run us through it?
Yeah, so after quite a crazy occurrence that I just saw on my screen, yeah, we got Alphanesis, great race. The driver of the day, maybe driver of every single race I've ever seen here at PPR. 19 spots up in the P1, so great race win. Deluxe Cord falling short in second. SF beats out Redeemer due to time penalty, so that's our podium spots. Redeemer's fourth. Groggy in fifth. Great drive by him. Followed by Vexing Track, Victus Brown, Ollie's the coach, and Dark Ghost all finishing in the points. Right outside is Zoom, Fantas, Sprightly, and Orange Crush. So that is all our drivers that finished today. And I mean, I gotta say, what a drive by Alphanesis.
Yeah, fantastic, guys. Last to first, putting on just an absolute clinic here in Division 3. Folks, I gotta say, Nick, do you think he's our driver of the day?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's the best drive that I've seen in all of our races and commentated. this season. I mean, that was a stellar performance.
Yes, and the champagne will be flowing in Maranello tonight. Congratulations to our podium drivers, Deluxe. We've got, oh my God, I'm blanking out so bad. SF, and we've got our winner. Why did I just forget their gamer tag? I'm sorry, Nick. Who just won? That would be, let me have a look. Alphanesis. There it is. Penalties galore, folks. Don't worry, though. Your final racing order was Alphanesis, Deluxe, SF, Redeemer, Groggy, Vexing, Big Mr. Brown, Ollie's to Coach, and Dark Ghost, bringing out the rest of the non-points paying positions: Zoom, Fantas, Crush, Sprightly, Father Corn, Funky Cactus, Rock Lobster, Randoms, Magic, Night Shrimp. Folks, thank you for joining us from wherever you were in the world. Nick, any closing remarks? Are we going to head over to interviews?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I want to head in the interview, see if we can't get Alphanesis, Deluxe Sport, and SF
Wonderful,
here
wonderful.
with us.
I will head over there. I will meet you there in just 1 second. All right, folks, we are just going to hang tight here and wait for our interviews to come by. Fantastic race. Silverstone truly, truly never disappoints.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, that was a fantastic race. I thoroughly enjoyed watching these guys tonight. As we're just trying to see if we can get all these guys now into the interview room for us here at PPR.
I will go ahead and play some quiet, royalty-free music in the time being.
Oh, as it looks like we are now joined here by Deluxe Cord.
Welcome, gentlemen. Why don't we start with our race winner, Alphanesis? Congratulations. Take a bow, sir. That was quite the recovery drive. How'd that one really play out for you?
Um, yeah, pretty good race. Pretty tired too. Um, Never expected to make the pole from the bottom. And my first race in PPR. Yeah, I didn't know how fast were the drivers. Uh, so yeah, I just kept.
For sure, for sure. Well, that's good to hear. Deluxe, what about you, man? Tough finish there at the end.
Um, I was it was a good race mostly. I was trying to uh the last ticker I tried to push so I can get a 3 second gap, but I wasn't able to, and then I ended up getting another penalty to try and push away from Alphanes. But yeah, most of the race was pretty good for me most of it.
Definitely. Nick, do you have any questions for SF, kind of our dark horse podium today? SF, good drive today, bud.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, walk us through that. What was going through your mind when you had Redeemer and Father Corn kind of duking it out in front of you? Did you know to just kind of stay put and wait for the action, or maybe were you just trying to get by?
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting for everything to go downhill. Really, I was just kind of saving my tires because I knew the mediums were gonna have a hard time getting to the end. So I just kind of stayed in their DRS and went from there. Turned out paid off really well.
Thank you. Well, yeah, certainly, certainly. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Nick, I don't know if you're there. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Wonderful, Nick. Any closing questions for our podium drivers?
No, I don't have any questions. I just want to tell Aphonesis, fantastic drive, last to first, and kind of putting up a fight here with the Lux Court now. Very nice to see.
Yeah, thanks, man. You did great too.
Well, folks, thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Best Teon, joined by Nick today. Nick, any closing remarks?
No, I think I've said it all. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say how great of a race this was, but it really was. D3 drivers really show up, much like the D2 guys as well. Those are very close and competitive fields, and we just saw it once again here at Silverstone. So I'm excited to see what comes out for Germany next week, and also for our 100% race tomorrow. So very excited.
Yes, folks, please do join us. I will not be on comms tomorrow night, unfortunately, but I believe we will have IB Na and maybe a few other people in the booth. Correct, Nick?
Yes, potentially me as well.
Wonderful, folks. They'll be your dynamic duo tomorrow night. Go check it out. Thanks for joining us again, and as always, stay classy.